All right, we are back on MorningLine. Final segment this morning. We'll get to as many calls as we can, as well as messages coming to us on Facebook right now. If you've got a question or a comment on stimulus, taxes, unemployment, Dr. Friday's with us. Good to have her. And want to remind you also to follow me on my Facebook page here at News Channel 5 afterwards. We can take messages and questions there at Nick Barris NC5. Make a note of that. Log on afterwards and follow that page. Let's go to more calls for you, Dr. Friday. Next, we have Carrie on line 6. Carrie, good morning. Do you have a question for the doctor?
Yes, I would like to find out if people that's on Social Security, do they need to do anything special if you have your check directly deposited?
Okay, ma'am.
It's a great question. I have been asked that a lot. And the wonderful news is, no, you don't need to do anything. I don't believe they've actually started issuing refunds to anyone on Social Security. At least none of my clients have told me they've received it yet. But the answer is, you are perfectly fine. They will use the Social Security admin information and send the checks directly to you.
Excellent. Let's go next to Ann on line 4. Hi, Ann. Go ahead. Are you there, Ann?
Yes.
Go ahead, Ann. What's on your mind?
Well, I went to the website and it gave me the same information that you're speaking of on your show about no information is available. I did file 2018 and 2019 taxes.
Okay.
I'm on disability. My husband does not work. I did not claim him as a dependent because I couldn't. But he does owe a student loan, and I had to file injured spouse. And I didn't know, because of the 2 years I had to file injured spouse, I'm supposed to get a refund, but that's been delayed for whatever reason. Would that make a difference in the stimulus check? Because it's still telling me on that website, irs.gov, that there's no information available at this time.
Okay.
Right. Hers is a little bit more unique. One is that you're filing, she said she filed married filing separately. And if her husband did not file his own return because he was unemployed, he needs to go on and do a non-filer. So he will get the stimulus on his. She should qualify. I will tell you, because they have to, with injured spouse, where they're basically saying, in the tax return, you're saying, I should get my refund even though he owes money, I don't. It takes a lot longer. You're looking at least 90 to 120 days to get an additional refund because of that form. Just to let you know, that's typical. But he's the one I'd be more concerned with. She should get her $1,200. But if he did not file a return, she did not claim him, then he needs to go on to irs.gov, click non-filer, and put his name in there so that they can get his refund to him.
Yeah, exactly. So he can get a check as well. We got a question here from Christy Joe, from several people, and I've been through this on some occasion because my wife and I don't always get a refund. And it says, what if you always file but have never received a refund? How can you enter your bank account number on there so you don't have to wait for a paper check?
I know that feeling. Well, there's two things. One, if you pay the IRS with your online, when you file your taxes, in my case, when I file my taxes, my bank and routing number is on my return because I made a payment to the IRS through that account. I am told that that information will be in the system. Your second thing would be, again, irs.gov, update your information on there, making sure. Now, again, in some cases, this information may not even be available yet. So don't get upset because it says unavailable or whatever. Just kind of keep checking it. I think it will get better as the days go on. But otherwise, you'll get a check in the mail.
All right. Tammy asks, what if self-employed and have to pay in every year? Will I get a check?
Absolutely. Anybody that has $75,000 to $99,000 as a single, $150,000 to $198,000 as a married couple should be getting some check. And if you have children, you'll get the additional for the child.
Okay, and Mo is asking on Facebook as well, and he's thinking not enough people are talking about how this affects the veterans one way or the other. Veterans really no different in this. I mean, there's no reason why someone who served this country, a veteran, depending on their financial situation, does not qualify for a check, correct?
Oh, absolutely. It says specifically in there, veterans, if you're receiving VA benefits, you're going to get the disability or the stimulus check as well. So they're going to get them. And to be quite honest, in many of these cases, the people that live solely off VA or solely off Social Security, this particular situation has made their life a little harder, but they haven't really had a reduction of income. They haven't lost their jobs. But again, this should help all of them get a little better footing into this year.
And Bobby was asking this about in terms of when the checks go out to whom. And we already said direct deposit faster than paper checks. Some people are wondering, are they doing this perhaps as it started right now with direct deposit alphabetically? I've also heard, Doctor, that they're looking at the possibility of trying to get it to the people who need it most first. What are you hearing?
Yeah, I have heard that. I'm thinking that they're basically looking, I mean, obviously first thing they're doing is sorting income, right? So anybody that's married that's under 150, single that's under 75, they're having to sort those out. And then they're looking at, I personally thinking, most of the people I've seen, people with children, people that are in the $40,000 and $50,000 mark. And I'm assuming they're able to sort taxes by income. So therefore, I agree with the gentleman that said, I think they're trying to get to the lower incomes first. And people that have filed in 19, I think those are the people, and most of those people are the same ones that rush to get their filings done early in January or February because they need that refund to continue to their lifestyle, period. So I think they're trying to get the money directly to them because they're the most affected.
All right, let's squeeze in a few more calls. We'll go next to Ryan. Ryan, good morning. Hi, Ryan.
Yes, I have two questions.
Okay.
My first question is, we got on the portal today, and when we got on there, I entered our information, and it said that it was all incorrect, and it locked us out for 24 hours. How do we go about that? My second question is, my mother-in-law, she draws Social Security, and I'm trying to find out if there's any way that we can get a banking account or something and actually put our banking account on her thing so she can get her money.
Well, she's going to get money anyway. Where does her Social Security go right now?
It goes to the Direct Express card.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Okay. What do you think?
Right. And again, my understanding, Mom would probably get a check mailed. I don't think I would be comfortable with having their name on a bank account for their mother. Not to say there's anything on it, but that can lead to other issues. God forbid one of them gets sued. Mom could lose her money, whatever. So that would be a choice in the family to decide on. And then I'm not too sure if it'll come any faster. We're guessing that people updating their banking today will get their money faster than people in the mail. That's a good guess. The second part of her question was, I am not surprised that site isn't going to blow up. We're not helping, probably sending everybody can to that site. I mean, obviously it's going to be just open today, so a ton of people are going on it. Waiting 24 hours and checking the site again probably isn't a bad idea because today is going to be extremely busy and it's probably going to get knocked out a few different times.
Okay, yeah. Just get in there and check and make sure, of course, if it's saying your information's incorrect, but it's correct. She's probably right. It's a snafu. You need to get back into it. Just in our remaining moments, I want to be real clear what you've heard about some of this. Unfortunately, with all these checks going out and a lot of the confusion, and it's all a first-time thing, there are scam artists out there. And it
yes.
bothers me to think about some people being cheated out of their monies. But yeah, the advice that you have for them, some of what you've heard, Dr. Friday.
Absolutely. So the simplest thing is someone calls you and asks for your Social Security number, your name, your address, your zip code, your date of birth. I don't care if it's your own child calling you on the phone. Do not give that information over the phone, especially, I hate to say this, but for older individuals that are maybe a little bit more trusting, thinking it's your grandchild on the phone because the phone number was the same. They can spoof numbers. Just be very careful. And there's a lot of people that are saying, hey, we can help you get your stimulus money. No one needs to be helped to get their stimulus money. The money will come to you if you are a filer. If you're a non-filer, then there are ways, but be very careful because those people that are asking to say they're going to really help you are actually taking the money. Yeah. So just be very careful about the information you provide.
And please keep in mind that the IRS, except in the two instances, one, if they're sending you a check, and two, the letter that they're going to send out 2 weeks later to make sure you received it, and they won't be asking for anything. Those, as far as I know, are the only two reasons you're going to hear from the IRS in that manner. There may be exceptions, but anyone reaches out to you and it claims they're of the IRS, hang up on them, okay? And if you're not sure, you can hang up and then you can go online or try to make a call. You can't get through to anyone and try to confirm, but do not. If anyone solicits you and they say they're with the IRS,
Don't.
just hang up.
Hang up. That's it. And I tell people that all the time, even outside of this situation. If you don't have any reason for the IRS or you don't know this, hang up and then call the direct number. Again, Nick is right. Right now, the phone numbers and the services are all almost down. But you know what? In the normal world, that's a great advice, period.
Okay, so the big issue, as we wrap it up, final minute here, is that, all right, everyone is going to be getting these stimulus checks, no exceptions to the rule, of course, if you don't qualify and if you have outstanding child support payments. And as far as, again, the biggie here that kind of clarified for me this morning, an awful lot of people get some of their benefits on those express checks or on the Jackson Hewitt card. Right. And if that's the case, you're probably going to get a paper check, not anything direct deposited to the card.
Right, and make sure your address is correct, because a lot of times people will put P.O. boxes, and I have heard on one of the meetings that the IRS will not mail to a P.O. box, which a lot of people will say that's the only address I have. I don't have a real house address. I get it. I could be wrong. If you usually get mail from the IRS at the P.O. box, maybe they'll use it, but just being honest that there is an issue with that as well.
Yeah, and make sure, and you and I talked about this before, I recently moved within the last few months. We had to send in that form. What is it?
8822.
8822 form, which was the change of address, so that I'm going to be getting a check, and so I'll be waiting a while, but I had to update my address. Dr. Friday, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks.
You're terrific. I mean, you really are. You're so quick with your answers and great information. Thanks. If we can, as you know, I know Mary Elaine will talk to you. We'd love to have you on, if possible, when your time permitting, every single darn week while we're in this mess.
No problem.
Thank you again for joining us. Doc Friday, she's terrific. We'll take a break, come back with a programming note about tomorrow right after this. Stay with us.